Hello everybody and welcome to Almost Solitaire. Today it's time again to continue our Gallic Wars campaign or scenarios from Commands and Colors Ancients. So we are in the year 57 BC now. We have done two battles from the year before this. And this time, well, we have fought some Gauls, if you remember from the first battle, and then we have maybe Brakte, and then we have fought Germanic tribes with the Romans, namely Ariovistus. And now it's time for the Belgic tribes of Belgae. And as you see, we are in, as I said, year 57 BC, and the thing is that during the kind of the winter of 58 and early 57, the Belgic tribes did, well, they were concerned about Rome's expansion, and Caesar was really aggressive, you know, with the expanding Roman territory up north, so from the Mediterranean in Transalpine, lands, and northwards. So the Belgic tribes were really concerned about this, and they actually managed to form some kind of a confederation of Belgae tribes. And well, it wasn't too successful. They failed in their plans, and Caesar has conquered them pretty much tribe by tribe. Anyway, there was one really big Belgic tribe called the Nervi, or Nervii, if you want. And those are the guys that we will see in this battle, because after the, actually along with other tribes as well, but after the dissolution of the Belgae confederation that they had, they still, the tribes that were, well, up in the north, they kind of promised each other to, to have each other's back. So if the Romans would attack, they would get together and have kind of a defensive alliance, there, you could say, I believe. So Nervi and the other tribes, I think some of them are actually mentioned here in the historical background note. Yes, for instance, Atrebates and Viramandui. So these guys were now coming together to defend against the Romans, because now Caesar, who had heard that the Nervi was really anti-Roman, they even they refused to bring in anything of the Roman culture into their tribes. I mean, the other, Gallic tribes and all that, they enjoyed importing, for instance, Roman luxury goods and all that, and used that, but these guys didn't. They didn't want any influence from Rome, so they were really anti-Rome. And that concerned Caesar, so he decided to do a campaign up there and conquer or subdue more, the Nervi or Nervii tribe. So that's the reason why he's up here in the north to attack. So at this point, I think he has actually 8 legions with him. That would be all from the, let me see now, I think it's from the 7th up to the, I'm not sure, but I think perhaps the 12th or even 13th legion, I'm not sure, but a lot of legions, I think it was 8, marching northwards here, along with allies and all that. So it's a huge project he has launched here. So the Belgae tribes that were to defend against the Roman invasion, they were converging here at close to River Sabis, that is here, or Sabis if you want. And I think it's a bit disputed where this actual battle took place, and actually what was the River Sabis. I have seen there are some suggestions of where this took place, but it's not really confirmed, I believe. Anyway, so Bodognatus, who is the leader of the Belgae gang here, he learned that the Romans were marching, northwards with a legion, then the legion baggage, then the next legion, and that legion's baggage, and so forth. So he was thinking that he could arrange an ambush here. When the first legion were arrived, I mean, there's an ancient road running here that the Romans were marching along. So they were checking that road. I mean, the Belgae was, and they were thinking that when the Roman first legion comes here, and when they see the baggage train, then they will attack. Cutting these legion to be alone, defend alone, and keeping the others outside of the battle really much. So pretty much. So that was the initial plan. Now somehow it's said that Caesar perhaps heard about this plan, or at least for some reason he did rearrange the march column. So what he did was actually to put 6 legions in front, then all the baggage, and then 2 legions as a rear guard. So the plan for the Belgic tribes here failed. So in that sense, that they would do, almost what you could, from the Second World War, the Winter War of the Finns, when they did these motley tactics against the Soviets, attacking parts of a big column. So I think this was a kind of an early version of that the Bodognatus was planning to do. So, to chunk up the attackers and then attack them piece by piece. So that failed. So more and more legions were marching into this area we are seeing on the map here. And they were deciding, they have of course sent up some recon forces first, and they have decided that this place would be a good place to put up a camp for the night. So as the legion starts marching here, they were seeing some Belgae cavalry somewhere here at the river banks here. So but they thought that it was just Belgae recon troops, and there was actually some skirmishes happening as well, because it said that, I think all the just as a side note, that we know of this battle was from Caesar's writing, so we don't really know what really happens. We only have his words, and that could be, a bit polished to Roman side, so to speak. So anyway, the Romans sent over some light infantry and cavalry to engage the barbarian cavalry that were seen on the other side. So the Belgae cavalry did some hit and run tactics. And the Romans were really not. There were some hills on the other side here as well. These are kind of a hilly terrain and some hilly terrain on the other side. And the Roman cavalry didn't really dare to go up on the other side of the hill. They were afraid that there were more Belgae troops hidden in the woods behind. So the real force of the Belgae was not revealed at this point, even though the Romans did some recon here. So they were pretty much content with that and started to set up their camp. Now, what should Bodognatus do then? Because he was, of course, aware that this was more than one legion that was now marching in here. Anyway, at some point, there was the Roman baggage started to come in, and they were building. Many of the men of the legions that were already who did already arrive here, they were, sent off to cut trees and all that, and start digging and, starting to build this huge fortified camp that the Romans always do when they are on a march, right? So not that many were really battle ready, and they were not aware that the main bulk of the forces were here. The thing is actually that Podognathus was still waiting for some tribes to arrive to this rendezvous point here, but all didn't. I think there's at least one tribe that didn't reach the battle that should have been here on the Belgian tribes. Anyway, Podognathus still took the decision to attack, even though there were lots of Romans here, because he probably thought that they were, I think they were pretty much even numbers here. And if you look at the units as well in the battlefields, it's pretty even, especially if you don't count these Romans over here that are, I think, representing legions. Let me see now. I think it would be 11 and 12 that were kind of the rear guard coming to after the baggage. So suddenly all of the place here from the woods, the Belga warriors rushed towards the river, waded over it, and attacked the Romans. So Caesar was really taken by surprise here. But he was a bit aware that he had done some, preparations that there might be hostilities. So they could pretty soon starting to get their act together. They recalled the guys from cutting down the woods, but still, many didn't have the chance to put their helmets and armor on. They were just, and the legions were kind of mixed, or at least the cohorts. So there were, the troops were not always standing in their right position here when they started to form the line. And Caesar arrayed the battle line as good as he could. I think he had the 9th and the 10th Legion over here on the left flank, and then we would have the 7th and the 11th in the center, and then over on the right hand side he had the 8th and the 12th Legion. I'm not sure about the Legion numbers here, to be honest. And these guys, by the way, what did I say? I think this would be... hold on now. I think these guys would be then maybe 13th and 14th Legions, actually. Anyway, and these were kind of green units. He put the newly recruited legions as the rear guard. Anyway, so he was first over on the left-hand flank, Caesar, and started to advance on his left with the 10th Legion here. And then he saw that there was a crisis happening here, because now the Belgic warriors were rushing up the hill and pressing back the legionaries over here, and actually managed to also reach the camp and all that. So it was a crisis over here. Caesar did what he could. He tried to rally his legions. He managed to halt the offensive here long enough for the reinforcements to arrive. 2 legions coming in, evening out the odds a bit more, and they started, it was a hard fight over here. By the way, I think the Nervi would be these guys along Podognathus. I think he put the Nervi tribe over on the more on the left hand side of their line, and I would say maybe the Nervi was half of the fourth of the Belgic tribes, and the other tribes were the other half, pretty much. And they were over here. I think the camp Atrebates was the guys who were supposed to protect the barbarian camps, right? Anyway, the 10th Legion was having a big success here on their left. Managed to push back, even though they got attacked, I think, twice by the Belgic here. But they hold the line and then starting advancing, and the Belgians starting to routing more and more here and disappearing from the battlefield. So in the end, the 10th Legion did like this kind of a maneuver, and then coming to the back of the Nervi tribe that were fighting on the other side of the river, right, up on the hills here. So now there was panic on the Belgic tribe side instead. They were caught now on a two-front attack, and the Romans were just hurling javelins and shooting arrows and into this more and more cramped big heap of Belgic warriors that were fighting on a lesser and lesser area. So they were really packed together there, and it said that there were just piles of dead warriors, one upon the other here. So real carnage. In the end, they fought really bravely though, but in the end, when there were just a handful left, they broke and left the field, and Caesar won the day. So a big victory, even though it looked really dark for the Romans for a moment there, when when these guys were pretty much even taking the Roman camp. So that's it. I think as a quick historical background for the battle. So let's check the board council. We have the Belgic tribes led by Podognatus, as I say. That's the Nervi leader, Nervii or Nervi. They have 4 command cards and move first. The Roman army, led by Julius Caesar, has 6 command cards, so we will have extra cards in slot A and D for the Romans. We will fight till we reach 8 victory banners, so this is a real big battle, but as you can see we have lots of units on the map. So, special rules. At the start of either player's turn, if a friendly unit occupies an enemy camp hex, the rampart terrain hex counts as the Roman camp hex. The player immediately gains a victory banner that cannot be lost. Remove the enemy camp hex and gain a victory banner before playing an order card. So here we have the Roman camp, here we have the Belgic tribes camp. The river Sabis is a fordable river, so can go over the river wherever you want, but you need to stop when you enter the river. Julius Caesar rule is in effect. Yes, meaning if he's attached to a unit, they can move 2 and battle, and they battle with 1 extra die. Okay, then we have the 10th Legion rule and the Marius Legions rule, but if you have the next expansion, the expansion number 3, which is the Roman Civil Wars, this scenario is actually retrofitted, so it's we will use the Julian rules here, meaning there's no real 10th Legion special rule. It appears to all the Roman legionaries, meaning they can move 2 hexes, and they can also throw the pila. So I think that's it. So let's have a quick look at the battlefield before we start playing and have a quick chat about some tactics. So for the Belgic tribe side, I think time is of essence, because if you look at the Roman lines, they have bow units, they have even a war machine up here on the hill. So again, if we just would wait with the Belgic tribes guys, they will be shot to pieces here, so we don't want to see that. So we need to act a bit historically here. We need to charge over the river and try to maybe reach the camp before the reinforcements come in. Maybe we can even delay them with the guys over there. But all in all, and then try to hold out on our own camp. I'm not sure if we're going to see the 10th Legion going that way, or if they're going to participate in the big fight, but these guys will probably try to take that camp. So yeah, not that much to say really. We're going to charge over, see what happens. The Romans try to form a good line here, and try to just survive the first Belgic tribe push, and then go and attack themselves, and of course try to reach that camp, as I said. And here we have 3 valuable units here. I mean, of course these are good units as well, but 3 legionaries that we want to have in the main fight. So we want to get these guys into the line as well, and then just see what happens. But I'm imagining that we will go on the counterattack if we survive the first attack of the Belgai tribe. So that's basically the how I see to play this scenario, and also do it a bit historically, which is always fun. So what do we have here then? So we have not 2 organized lines on any side, so let's do it by just a section. So on the Roman left we have 2 cavalry, we have some light infantry and auxiliary infantry. Here towards the center we have, I think this is let me see what his name is. Yes, Labienus, one of the Roman leaders here, and here's the 10th Legion. I would say this is the 10th and 9th Legion, but 2 heavy infantry here. We have an auxilia back here, and we have a bow unit up in the front. Then we have the center line where we have Caesar as well, 2 medium heavies, 1 other medium heavy up here, and also on the hill we have the War Machine with a range of 6, so he can pretty much, fire all over the place here. More legionaries back here, and then another bow unit up on the front, and a legionary down here. And then we have the reinforcements coming in here. I think this is a nameless leader. Let's check. Yes, it's a nameless one. But there's, as I said, 3 legionaries, a light infantry, and more medium heavy cavalry. So 3 cavalry units actually on the Roman side. Here we have the camp, which is represented by this rampart, because this is not really a completed camp, so it's just 1 rampart hex. That's it. And also, as you can see, it's a really crowded battlefield in terms of terrain. We have hills to the river, we have the ramparts, some fortified camps, we have woods. Yeah, so really busy. So on the Belgic tribe side, we have on their right hand side, we have some warriors protecting the camp. We have 2 medium heavies, a nameless leader over here. Back here we have 2 warrior units, lights on the hill, and some auxilia up here hiding in the woods. Towards the center we have lots of warriors over here, and here we have the main leader of the Nervii tribe as well, Balognatus. So light infantry as well, 2 auxilia units over there, and on the left that should harass and maybe check these guys are another nameless leader, 1 warrior, and then an auxilia unit and a light infantry on the far left of their line. That's it. So in cavalry we have actually more Romans, as we have 1, 2, 3 Roman cavalry units, only 2 on that side. 3 leaders on each side, so pretty even in many ways. So yeah, this is gonna be an interesting. I mean, this looks really epic. So let's see what happens. And it's the Belgai who starts the game. So let's start with checking out their cards in slot A and B. So we have an outflanked. That's okay, but I think I want to go on the center. Then we have 3 units left. Okay, but let's see what they can play. That's an A, B, or C. So we're going to reveal the slot C card as well. And here we have a mounted charge. Should we begin the game with a mounted charge? I think maybe not, because we can use that later on as an, counterattack, because we are expecting the Romans to advance towards our camp here. So we leave that for a while. So an outflanked or 3 units left. So 3 units left would be over here. We could start moving forwards the guys who are expected to stop the Roman reinforcements from reaching. So maybe we should start with that a bit easy. I would have liked to see something in the center, because as I said, time is of essence. So we want to get those guys over fast before we get the Roman reinforcements in the place. But since we cannot do that, maybe the next best option is to actually try to engage those guys. So let's do the 3 left. And yeah, we have 4 units here, so we could even do those guys. But I will take these guys, and I will just go into the woods and into the river here. That's it. So the Romans, let's check the slot A and B first. Heavy troops, light troops, and 2 units left over here. Okay, that would be a C or lowest order count. So we're gonna reveal slot C, that's medium troops. Lots of these over here. So 2 on the left. We could start with some skirmish fire here. Let's do that. So I'm gonna activate these 2. Yeah, so play the 2 on the left. And I'm gonna move forward. These guys stays, and we're gonna fire. You start here, try to scare those horse away. Nothing. Here, the bow unit with 2. I'm gonna fire at these warriors coming from the back here. I won't fire against the guys in the woods because I would only get 1 die. So let's aim towards those and hope for a blue. No. Green and a red, so no hits there. Okay. Back to the bell guy. Okay, so I got the D or E this time, so it's one of these cards. Double time. Interesting. Too bad though, we are in bad terrain, so we cannot really use it. And then we have in slot E 2 center. I'll play the 2 center. Here. And here. So these guys will now charge into the river. Bodognatus will go up on the hill, giving some support. And here we're gonna attack with, hold on, we are attacking from a river. I think that's 2 dice. But these guys, yeah, they will try to evade. No hits, and we evade. So now they're coming. I think this was kind of, the river was about, I think I read like, 3 feet or 1 meter in depth. So it's affordable, really, but you are slowed down here as you almost go down to your waist with water here. So take some time to go over. Okay, so here we gonna replace that card and then go back to the Romans. So they got an A or B this time. Gonna reveal that slot B. A counterattack, which would be 2 in the center. Okay. Then we have the heavy troops or the light troops. So let's do some light skirmishing. We have 6 units to order. So 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna engage here. 4, 5. What else? We have 1 auxilia here, but I don't see what I should do. We could strengthen the center with these guys, I believe. So I'm gonna march forward 1 here. These guys will just stay. These guys will go 2, 1, 2. And as I said, I will engage that light infantry with my light infantry here. 1, 2. Try to push them back over the river again. That's all movement. So let's start with some battle and start from the Roman right. So 1 die attack against that unit on the river. Nothing. Then we have these guys targeting the closest warriors with 2 dice. Alright, 2 flags. And I think he can ignore both because a warrior has this intrinsic 1 flag ignorance if they are full strength. And they can also ignore 1 because they are supported. Nothing. Then we have these guys attacking the guys on the river. Let's see if we can fire arrows enough to push them back over the river again. We couldn't. That was too bad. These guys can now in the next turn come over and attack already. Oh man. Here then, we are trying to get that cavalry now. So we start with the lights with 2 dice. That's a good one, a flag. So these guys need to go 3 back. 1, 2, and then they lose 1. So the first blood we are seeing now. These guys will throw their javelins 1 die against the woods. That's a miss. Okay, so Belga need to do something or they will be shot to pieces by the Romans now. Yeah, put that there. Then back to the Belgae. D or E. Double time or inspired center leadership. I think that's the one we're gonna do. We won't do double time yet. So let's see now. Yeah, it will be the center leadership and it will be of course Bodognatus and then 4 units. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It was a perfect card at this point actually. We are getting a lot of troops now up here. So here's a guy who cannot evade anymore. We're gonna charge in here. And we're gonna go give them some support. These guys can actually throw some javelins. Go in here, and Bodognatus will actually go here on the flank and attack these guys. So let's start here, and they will evade, but we have 2 dice. And we got 2 hits. Bodognatus is really aggressive. I think they managed to throw some javelins perhaps before these guys evaded up on the hill. These guys don't have a target. These guys do, so they will throw 1 die against Caesar. Nothing. Then we have these who will attack the bow unit who cannot evade. They are though supported and have leader support in their battle back, but let's see now. 4 dice. We got 2 hits on the light bow. And they will now battle back with 2, and as I said, they have leader support. So they managed actually to get 1 hit on the barbarians. Okay, heavy fighting, and now we're seeing an historical thing happening here, right? This is exactly what happened. They were coming over the river, pushing their way through the lighter, you know, could say maybe outposts or pickets of the Romans, pushing them back and trying to reach these camp pegs here in the hills. But the Romans, I think they are pretty soon ready to countercharge. Maybe we should, I'm not sure if we should take the fight on the river itself, because it will not benefit us as really, because we get, maybe it could, but it's only 2 dice, you know, in close combat over here. Okay, that was the Belgae turn, so we go over to the Romans. A, B, or C. Okay, heavy troops, medium troops, a counterattack which would be inspired central leadership. Or the medium troops. Okay, here's some interesting choices. If we would do the heavies, it's not too good because we are a bit trapped here with the heavies behind these guys. So I will not play that. Medium heavies, we could actually attack with all these guys and even march with the medium heavies here. I think that's a good card at this point actually, and we have 2 of those, you know, so maybe we should just use 1 of those now. The counter charge would be an inspired central leadership. We could order, for instance, Caesar and then 4 units, like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and get the 10th Legion into the fight. That's also really good, and we could fire from here. But you know what, I'm a bit too tempted with these, so I'm gonna play the medium heavies from the A slot, because that's 6 medium heavy units. 1, 2, and the thing is, I'm gonna get Caesar with me. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's bring some reinforcements. Okay. Caesar can march 2 and battle. I think Caesar could destroy these guys. Then attack again. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So Caesar will go 1, 2. The thing is though, I should attack with these guys first, of course, then. Yeah, let's do it like this. These guys will actually march 2. They will not fight, but they will just take, you know, a position on this river bank here to prevent these guys from coming over. And these guys will take 1 step and attack. Then we have these guys rushing towards the sound of battle. Ready to engage. Okay, here we go. This is gonna be epic. So we start from here. It's 3 dice downhill. No hits at all. Bad roll from the Romans over here. So they will battle back with 2 dice uphill. And that's only a flag which they can ignore, they are supported. Okay, then Caesar will act, so he's gonna get, let me see now, 4 dice plus 1 for being Caesar, so it's 5 dice against that warrior unit. And that's 2 hits and 2 flags, and he need to take both. And warriors go 2 hexes per flag, but this suits them, I believe. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So he managed to do it without getting eliminated. So Caesar could gain ground, he will, and then attack again, and he will attack that river there. So he's gonna get 3 dice of that, because we only get 2 attacking a river, but Caesar will add 1 die. So 3 dice. And we will get 1 hit on the warriors. They will battle back with 2 dice, because the same thing, attacking out of a river. Missing. So that's the situation. Yeah, we have 1 more. So these guys attacking Bodognatus with 2 dice. Hitting with 1. Let's see if Bodognatus survived this attack. He did. So they will battle back with 2 and have leader support. And by that they also managed to hit the legionaries with 1. Okay, good exchange happening here. So Caesar has stabilized the situation a bit here. He has created a line along the river, pushed back some of the warriors that already went over. The worrying thing for the Romans is though they have some gaps in the line where the barbarians can, you know, skip through. But on the other hand, they have managed to cripple 2 of the guys of the river, I mean the warrior units on the river, so they will only roll 3 dice, and they don't have that inherent, you know, flag. They cannot ignore a flag anymore by themselves. So that's good. But we have a full strength warrior here, and we have some auxilia coming here, so it's gonna be a hard fight anyway. That's for sure. Let me see if I'm gonna, yeah, let's play one more turn before I end this session. I think it's enough after that. So because this is really exciting. Okay, so we got the first strike up high on the Roman side. Now we're gonna remember that. So let's put it here. That's a really important card they got now. Then we got this next one over here, and then we roll for the big guys tribe. So that's a tactic card or lowest order count. So they could now do a mounted charge. They could do a double time or the outflanked. But they would like to do something in the center. So I think it would be, they need to do the double time then. Because we could then order all these 4 units, and that's good. Yeah, so we play the double time. And actually the warriors could go even 3 hexes. So what I will try to do now is to, I mean, we could isolate these guys pretty easy. So I'm gonna try to destroy that unit. So I'm gonna take Bodognatus over here, cutting down cutting off the retreat path of these guys. Then I will put some auxilia here, these warriors here, and these guys will just try to engage Caesar, hoping to get, should they even do that? I'm not sure. No, let's move them sideways here. So I'm gonna put all the effort to kill this guy for this turn. So where do we start? I think I want to keep these guys a bit, hoping they can finish the job, but this would be good if they could attack here as well, to be honest. The best thing that could happen would that these 2 finishes off this guy finishes off that legionary unit, and then Bodognatus could actually attack up here. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. So first of all, I will attack with the auxilia, 3 dice against the legionaries. Oh, then we're gonna see if you're gonna play the first strike, of course. So let's roll for that. That's a red. That would not affect these auxilia, so they will not play the first strike. So the auxilia managed to get in 2 hits. This was a blue one, actually. Yeah, 2 hits on the legionaries. An awesome roll by the auxilia there. They will do battle back with 4 dice. And they got, now let me see now. That's 1 hit and 2 flags. 1 hit, 2 flags. 1, 2. They are not supported, so they need to take both. Then we have these guys attacking. Let's see now if the first strike will be played. We need the blue, or yeah, we got the blue. So now the first strike is actually played. He tried to save his skin now. So Romans play the first strike and attack first with 2 dice. Getting 1 hit on those, not good enough. Then they will do their ordinary battle with 2 dice. Not hitting at all. Okay, this means I will need to use Bodognatus here. So these guys Should I do that first? Yes, I will. So Ignatius will now attack here with 3 dice, and we have leader support. We managed to get 2 hits, blue and a crossed sword, so these guys go down. By that we got the first victory banner of the game. It's for the bell guy. So we're gonna go in, we're gonna attack again uphill. Now's the question. Should we evade or not? But Ignatius will only get 2 dice, so maybe we should wait. I mean, we could evade and just remove this unit from the game, and then all good. I mean, the Belga would not get the victory banner out of that, but we would lose this unit. But on the other hand, do we have any benefit of that unit anymore? No, I will actually do the evasion. I will evade with these guys, meaning these guys cannot gain ground and losing pretty much their attack, bonus attack, but they did, or no, you cannot say that really. They did it, but they cannot reach the hilltop. I mean, I can now fill up this hill with more troops from the Roman side. That's the point here why I did it. And I can see that War Machine having a good effect because they're pouring in here now. We have these guys left. We have not attacked with those yet, so we're gonna attack that legionary unit with 4 dice because this is a full strength warrior unit. That would be 1 hit and a flag. So they take a hit and they have to take the flag, so they cannot battle back, sadly for them. So they're going to retreat back towards the lines. These guys are the warriors they are. They will just rush after them and attack again. 4 dice. And another flag and another hit. But the flag they can now ignore since they are suddenly supported, and then they launch a counterattack with 4 dice. With leader support. Getting 2 hits on the warriors. This is really cool. Lots of things happening here now. But the first wave of Belgaia has really been worn out now, but they have also punched a 2 or 3 hex hole in the Roman line as well, so it has hurt both sides. Caesar is on here scaring off all the guys around him, but yeah, this is tough. Nice one. And the first strike had the good effect for the Romans that the Belga had to use more troops to kill off that legionary unit they got the banner for. But now it's the Romans. We're gonna play that also before we end this session. That's a tactic card or lowest order count. That will be a counterattack, which is a double time. Or we would need to play, I think, the heavy troops. So heavy troops or double time, or the counterattack we would need to play. Let's do the double time then. So we play a counterattack, meaning a double time, 4 units. We could rush from here or we could rush from here. That's the question now. I think we're going to do it with Caesar's gang here. So I'm going to take these 2. They need to be linked, but these guys are linked. So I can go to end battle now. So these guys rushes like that. These guys goes there. These guys will not reach anything, but I will go, hold on, I will take Caesar first up here, then these guys taking position up here. That's what's gonna happen. So we start from here. 4 dice, leader support. That's 3 hits, eliminating these guys. Nice one. The Romans get the banner. And we're gonna check if Bodognatus actually falls in this battle. He didn't, so he can relocate himself to the next unit here. We will gain ground. Then we have these guys from the 10th Legion attacking. Only 2 dice though. And leader support. Getting 1 hit and a flag. Let's see if Bodognatus is alive. He isn't. Now he fell. He fell in the river. 2 leaders rolled. Bodognatus fell in the river when he was relocating from the eliminated unit here. At the same time he was doing that, these guys attacked into the water and catched him. So he's dead. Getting another Roman victory banner. Oh wow, this is cool. That's dramatic. So now these guys need to take the flag. But I think they gladly do that. So do we want to go up on the river with the 10th Legion now? I think we might. We are getting strong here now. We are already getting ready for the Roman counterattack. Very early. So these guys will not do anything. So we have 1 unit isolated over here. They are in a really bad position now. They will hardly, survive to get back to the line. So maybe their only thing is to fight to the death over there. The Romans in the center are now, countering the attack and now start to wade over River Sabis themselves. But we have a good group of units over there as well, and we have 2 leaders left, some from the Belgae, so it's not over yet. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. So I think though that we will end the session here, as I said. So a lot of things happening. I love it so far. It's really intense from turn 1. Or actually turn 1 was a bit not too intense. Remember, we just moved troops over there on the Belgae side and here on the Romans, or maybe it was here. But after that, all action. So by that, I hope you enjoyed too, because this will get really exciting from here. I think this was a really, an early time for the Roman counterattack already. I wasn't expected to see that already in this session. I thought this session would be more, Belgae pouring over the river, and then maybe in the next session we would see that phase. But we already seen that, and it's going to be interesting because I will now try to fulfill that Roman counterattack already, pushing them to the baseline over there. So by that, yes, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you will be back for part 2, which will be up soon, and we'll see how this ends. So maybe this will actually last for 3 sessions. This is though an 8 victory banner fight, so we have a long way to go still. But it's now 2-1 for Romans in victory banners, thanks to the Belgae Nervi leader, or Nervii leader falling over there in the river, Bodognatus. Okay, thanks for watching. See you again, guys. Bye-bye.